large underground following that had developed for this new reggae pop music.
White kids that were hanging out with the black kids from the same areas grew up on the music, you know, we were all hearing it. And
it was just a fashion, the youth culture of the day.
Yeah, well, that was it.
We
only had the youth clubs. You know what I mean? Nobody was old enough to go to nightclubs anyway.
That's it.
Trojan Records came to enjoy iconic status as the purveyors of Jamaican music in the UK. They released 2,000 singles in 7 years, initially on a fairly small scale, through specialised shops catering to Jamaicans and to white working-class youths who revelled in its danceable beat and outlaw status, the skinheads.
You get kicked out of Saturday morning pictures when you're too old for it. You've got nowhere to go for yourself, so somebody said, oh, let's go up to Streatham Locarno. And we're talking about the 60s, sort of the skinhead period, really. And so I used to go to Streatham Locarno and listen to music, and we didn't really dance. People did dance, but me and my friends, we used to just sort of hang back and just watch, you know, because it was all the skinhead thing, you see. And because they never played that music on the radio, so in some ways, for us, it became our music.
The skinheads at the time were really into reggae. I mean, they are branded now as what you call a neo-Nazi group that don't like black people and Jews. In my time, I was being protected by the skinheads. Look, I've been to a town that was like Guildford, was a racist town in my time. And this guy said to me, hi, Mr. Black. So I said, hi, Mr. White. And he spit in my face. I said, what the heck? So the kids wanted us to beat him. I said, no, forget it, man. I just wiped the spit off, and that was it.
What was happening, it couldn't be denied that this was developing into something that was becoming more and more commercially interesting, commercially successful. As more and more people discovered the music through the clubs. And that was making for all sorts of problems for us because we just couldn't get past this door.
Look out, BBC, 'cause I'm on my way. Oh yes I am. Long walk to the BBC, but I know I'll make it someday.
I think there was a perception amongst the reggae labels that the BBC dismissed reggae to a certain extent. To be fair, I think possibly, yes, I think they might have a slight case there.
Bob Marley and the Wailers failed their BBC audition because in the view of the panel, they didn't know how to play reggae. Which was, but then you get some kind of, the BBC Dance Orchestra doing a strict tempo version of reggae. People would say, oh, that's how reggae should be.
If our music had an open door, like, let's say, a freeway, we could break wide in any part of the world because we have class music like anybody else.
Young, gifted or black, in your heart, what I mean.
We just did that song because we were teenagers wearing afros and, trying to be too conscious black people. And we said, this is a good cover song for us to do.
Trojan were determined to break reggae to the mass market and pulled out all the stops for their new releases.
When they introduced strings on the British versions of the songs, I think it made quite a difference because they made them more into not so much the raw sound that would probably be acceptable elsewhere, but it made it more into a pop record and then went to a much bigger market.
Reggae became part of pop mainstream. Skinheads, the BBC, school dances, suddenly everyone was playing reggae.
Sounds of soul. I am W.O.O. and I'm still here again.
Dave and Ansel Collins went to #1, as did Desmond Dekker. Jimmy Cliff, the Scatterlights, Prince Buster and Ken Booth all stormed the charts. And everyone loved it when Max Romeo turned out to be a new kind of rude boy.
Of course, there was the wonderful Max Romeo Wet Dream thing, which was just such a great pop record. Or that, obviously the lyrics, you know, you can see why they had a problem with that "lie down, girl, let me push it up, push it up."
I try to explain. I say, look, man, it have nothing to do with sex. I'm talking about my house leaking here. Me and my lady sleeping in bed, rain falling, the roof is bloody leaking. She's getting up to plug the leak, and I'm saying, lie down, girl, I'll push it up. They didn't buy that.
The last couple of years of the 60s were a reggae explosion, and by 1969, Desmond Dekker was filling Wembley like visiting royalty.
That reggae pop music, I suppose, you know, we were beneficiaries of it as well. You know, the doors had been opened and people have been softened up enough to start listening, you know.
The music of downtown Kingston had not only conquered Jamaica, but made it to the heart of the old colonial masters, and there was still a great deal further to go.
We gotta do all things. Everybody got to rock. You gotta do your thing. You got to do your thing. Hey, you got to do your thing. Now you got to do your thing. I do your thing. I've got to say, bye-bye. I'm going. Hallelujah. I've got to.
Part 2 next Sunday at 8 on BBC Two.